Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGL.GG Invite Highlander match. We're in Season 19, Week 4, here on beautiful Asheville, watching Locked In Syndrome take on Agar Grove in a battle of what will likely be the 2 versus 3 seed before we head into playoffs. I am Alto, joined by Rogue to my side, Dolphin behind the camera, as always. Rogue, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Yeah, Asheville always delivers a great match, I'd say, except when it doesn't. But yeah, listen, these teams are pretty evenly matched, like you said. This has a lot of implications for playoffs, so we get the game on our hands. And boy, do I love games. I'm somewhat of a gamer, if I may say.
Indeed, you may. We may all be gamers or gamettes. That's the point of the intro. We have seen both of these two teams so far this season. They've both taken dubs, I believe, every time they've been casted. Did you guys cast Team Fun the week I was missing?
Not yet.
No, okay. So I guess they're going to go the regular season without a cast. We would have seen these two teams win all of their matches. Locked In Syndrome sitting at 2-1, Agar Grove sitting at 3-1 due to the bye weeks floating around in Invite. However, with both of these teams having taken a loss to Team Fun, it is only expected that they're only going to take one more loss, and it might be to each other. Whoever wins, likely to be the 2nd seed heading into playoffs. Whoever loses, likely to be the 3rd seed, barring any freaky upsets. Haven't done the full math, but I don't think there's much of a possibility for much to change, as I think we've got one more week of matches, and that's about it, since 5-week regular season before that longer full division double elim, which I'm looking forward to. But, Rogue, do you want to run down the rosters real quick?
Yeah, my pleasure. I'll take a rundown the Agar Grove side first. Why not? So we have Hero on Scout, Townsy on Soldier, Dope on Pyro, Humphrey, Demoman, Witness on Heavy. Oh, sorry. No, you're good. There we go. We have Lay on Engineer, DZ Creeper playing Medic tonight, Bugged on Sniper, and Galaxy running it out on Spy.
And over on the side of Locked In Syndrome, it will be Birdo on Scout, Jerry on Soldier, Leaf will be ringing Pyro, Kira on Demoman, Dotwood Heavy, Exa Engineer, Ray on Medic, Mountain on Sniper, and Lucky on Spy.
Yeah, I wanted to touch briefly on mentioning like what this means for playoffs. So anyone just joining us, playoffs are double elimination. So basically you have 2 lives here in playoffs, and it's the top 4 teams. So when you're the number 1 team going into playoffs, you face the number 4 team as your first kind of draw. And it's funny because I think if you're going for your best placement possible, like you would much rather be 2nd or 3rd seed than 4th seed, just to make sure that you survive that first round and get knocked in a lower bracket later. But personally, it's funny where in seasons where we're gunning for first place, you kind of hope you get that first seed first, just so you can like test out your map pool against them, see where they beat you and when and how, so you can adjust for grand finals. So yeah, it kind of works out in an interesting way when we have double elimination here, where you could see some of these teams multiple times here in playoffs.
Did we get confirmation that we're moving to a 14 playoff after the death of Daniel team?
Oh, I made an assumption, which is very rude of me. I apologize.
Well, the point still stands. It'll be double elim regardless. I think the initial plan was to do a 6-team regular season, a shortened regular season, and then a full. So every team in the division would make playoffs in a double elim bracket. With the death of Daniel's team, I'm not sure if that's still on the table or if there's going to be any modifications to that. But what you said about getting to see teams multiple times, very true. There's a good chance that now with only 4 other teams other than yourself and double elim, you're going to play at least really half the division twice, right? So good to get some scouting out ahead of time. Just thinking, last week we saw Locked In Syndrome taking on Macchiatos and Kovacs, which they pulled out quite handily, I would say. Whereas Agar Grove did struggle more against MNK in week 1 on Upward, or Vigil, excuse me. Similar, setups playing MNK on Stopwatch. So off of performance alone, you may want to lean over to Locked In Syndrome, but I have a feeling that this is going to be a close one.
Yeah, that's right, and not only that, we have week 5 coming up is the one, the only Steel, my love, where I'm looking through the matchups now. I'm trying to see if I guess Agar Grove maybe has a sort of meaningful match there. I know they have a bye week, so basically this is for all the marbles. For each of these teams, it's like, if you take a win now, that gets you in a really nice spot for playoffs. Otherwise, both of these teams have one is playing the imposters and the other are playing or not playing at all because it's a bye week. So yeah, like you mentioned, this is sort of their last chance to get into playoffs, and like where you land in playoffs will hopefully make a difference. But at the same time, I guess whether you're second and third seed versus third and second seed, if it's 4 teams, it doesn't matter. But if it's 6, it does.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the matches next week, and there may be an advanced cast in our future looking at what we've got there. As I don't think there's going to be anything too close, and outside of maybe M&K upsetting Team Fun, which I don't have my money on. I don't think there's going to be any implications from any of the matches next week, so we'll see as we get there. But as you said, really all the marbles tonight. This is likely going to be the last meaningful regular season match. And I mean, having with both of these teams having had matches against M&K, and they both lost to Team Fun, and I think they've both beaten imposters, or I think Locked and Syndrome have imposters next week. There's not a whole lot of comparison points other than that M&K match. If we want to kind of draw parallels from that, where I'm concerned is going to be bugged. Because we saw that part of the reason why LIS struggled so much, why Agar Grove struggled so much with M&K, was that for most of the game, outside of a couple of, short but deadly hot streaks, Brian was hard winning the SVS against Bugged. And it was, they still won the match. It was not enough to lose the match off of that. But, not transitive property, but, well, yeah, it is transitive property, right? Because Brian ended up beating Bug pretty hard in the SVS. Mountain, however, went even if not exceeded Brian in that. And just looking at that, it's my instinct to give the SVS to Mountain. And anytime you start with an SVS lead, the cards are immediately going to tilt in your favor unless there's a lot pushing them the other way.
This is very true. Now, just keeping an eye on the server here, I see Casper, it looks like, is filling in for Ray, who I guess we had no idea coming into this one, but for me, I think that's a big deal as well, because so Kira is like such a Kira's one of those callers that will hold this push to talk for the entire game and not let go. So, swapping out your medic, kind of your partner in crime, is going to make a difference. But we're heading into the match here. Any predictions real quick?
I'm going to say LIS 4-2 is what I'm looking at.
That's the scoreline I had in mind as well. I'll say 4-3 just to make it more fun.
All right,
first
coming
mid-fight.
Right in. Yeah, man, that's going to be Kira getting sniped right away. But Townsy tearing through this mid. Reflect rocket from Leafa going to take him back out. Frags everywhere on both sides, but Casper is down. DC's still alive. Those heals going to contribute to part of that mid-win. And I mean, things looked pretty good right off the bat for I'm forgetting who's on which side right now. Things look pretty good off the bat for LIS, but Agar Grove comes back and takes it.
Yeah, ooh, actually, quick play out of Leaf going for some sort of play here at the last second. We are now looking at full add-on DC Creeper. Casper only on 30%. So we'll see if they are looking for a quick sack or something like that. Actually, Mountain goes all the way through the ramp. That went all the way through the ramp. No one really contesting them until the last second here. But now, Jerry going in, Lucky going in, the force comes out on DC Creeper on point.
That force ended up coming out with the soldier, but Lucky was behind, almost got a drop off of what could have been a butter knife, but I think got air blasted right at the end, so close but not quite for Cherms, as they will, get the ad back. Casper now sitting 80-30, up 50%, but should be about a minute at least off the point right now for Agar Grove. LAS is going to have to execute on this ad Uber.
Yeah, the whole linchpin there is like the sniper to be on ramp for that long. You have to send so many people to contest. Right now, actually, 4 players again on ramp. Mountain holding this long angle. No one can peek. Even Hero having to hope to contest. They're all, backing out here. Oh, wait, Casper getting triple rocketed by Townsy. They're forced to it. That's okay, but DZ Creeper is about to come up on this Uber, so you want to capture the point and force DZ as fast as absolutely possible. Let's see DZ working the way up bats here to contest as soon as the cap goes down.
Yep, they're going to swap that over. I mean, and with Bugs still down, you could maybe get some aggressive positioning, but they're really not looking to play that far forward. I mean, they have an Uber, right? But at the same time, you can't... Galaxy! Big Scan comes in. Master of Disguise will take Kira out right there, so no defensive demo. Uber will get popped out from DZ, so they don't have to worry about re-pushing into an Uber. But, you know, they're going to lose the point just like that. No demo, really no hope of mounting any sort of contest. Casper going to just make sure that they stay alive and keep that 40% ad because they'll have to use it again. But time very quickly going in favor of Agar Grove right now. Their explosive classes have been doing so much work, it feels like.
You can see what happens, I think, when Locked in Syndrome lose their demo man, the main caller. To me, that's a moment you sell out and move forward, but they actually backed up. They didn't know what to do. Right now, the Uber now flying back in. Casper, Berto, Kira rolling across point. Witness goes down for it, but losing just your heavy is a great trade if you're the defense here. Late pick on the hero as well, so it looks like the point capture will come down now, but we'll see if there's a quick snipe we can see out of Bug.
Yeah, I mean, well, not quite. Mountain going to win the SVS there, but, you know, this leapfrog is just so much in favor of Agar Grove right now. DZ already has Uber. You know, LAS has only held the point for 15, 20 seconds. So all it's going to take is, you know, them just walking out right now. I think they're just getting, you know, set, spreading out some buffs beforehand, waiting to maybe get a couple comms. And nope, they're going to go right in. For using it's basically an empty point right there. But, you know, all it means is that they're going to get the point. Very little contest. Dotwit, though, on boxes, catches out Humphrey. That demo is going to be big. This may end up breaking the leapfrog. Everyone's grouped up on point. Kira on fans trying to rain down havoc, but in comes Chelsea. Huge surf by Casper, but it's not enough. Jumps off of the sheet metal, ends up going down. Such a valiant effort right there, but just not quite there. Townsy even acknowledging the nice surf in chat as you just lived too long on the enemy bats. And I mean, it looked good for LIS from the start, but just, you know, not quite enough to break that leapfrog.
Ooh, looking at a quick two-pick on Bugs and Humphrey. So those are like your power classes for point. I mean, Demo Man, Sniper, there's no hope. Wait, even DZ Creeper down to 15 HP from Jerry. So the defense running with their tail between their legs. But there you go, like you mentioned, Agar Grove right now has 17 seconds left on the clock, having to hold now for 2 minutes. And not only that, but DZ Creeper has a 50% ad ready to go with that Uber. Here they come.
Yeah, they're going to go right in, not an empty point this time. Not wet, levitating hero, but not going to be enough. The flash was there to keep that scout alive. Hero fighting off a box and trying to get back in mount with a big shot onto Humphrey. No demo, another one onto Phantom. And there is a there is more kills coming in right here. So LIS with the help of Bug gonna manage to hold this. First time we've seen the leapfrog broken all game, but the time is still so far in favor of Agar Grove. They're gonna have to, you know, Iron Man this. Casper has ads, so it's possible.
Yeah, right now, wow, actually a great coordinated push out of Agar Grove. They're spreading out like on the high ground, low ground, everything on the sides in between. And they're dropping like flies. I mean, Galaxy now in the shutter. The Uber comes out, Hero and Casper, but it's just 2 versus the world. Even the underground Hero, look at that, full HP, working up, wrapping into that shutter. Leaf now joins the fray. Galaxy gets caught, but still got 2 picks on the Kira and the Casper. Townsy going down for it, times 4 on the point, about to be Uber for DZ Creeper. Is there any hope for them in this round?
It's Skang's world and we're all just living in it, buddy. I mean, you cannot let a spy do that. He's on fire and he gets to just coming in. I mean, we said his name a bunch. He's actually bottom scoring on the team right now, but, you know, quality over quantity. Last minute desperation sack coming in, but the Uber popped out from DZ and it will be the round for Agar Grove. I mean, 42 seconds left on the clock is a decent chunk off, but the way that round went, it really never felt like LIS had any shot at winning it.
I feel like Dotwood is doing so much, and I'm going to drool over Dotwood in the halftime, but doing so much to keep the team in the game, but the rest of the team isn't really playing to win. Let's see if they can turn it on in round number 2.
Walk in. As Townsy jumping over, we're going to pick up Humphrey. Or Jared's going to be Jerry picking up Humphrey. Townsy finds Berto instead. Rebound from Townsy. Coming in from orbit, channel Sophie Meister right there. Finds Casper in the shutter, but Dope on the 3 reflex rocket kills this mid. Dope finding 2 right now. Galaxy onto Kira as well. So it's gonna be Agar Grove yet again coming out big here. The reflex rocket kills off of Leaf are the only ones they get.
They bugged on this long angle, so anyone just rolling out, you have to do this little dance, and whoops, Jerry says I don't need to do the little dance, but this is what happens if you don't work their sniper properly. You're going to go down for it, so Casper now on only 30%, massive disad. DZ Creeper even calling to the team, like, DZ is the farthest forward for the past 4 seconds. Finally, the team follows and stops baiting for once.
Yep, here jumping in. Great shot by Bug. Gonna take another one onto Mountain as well. Big fight in the Shutter, and ultimately the Mountain finds the shot onto DZ first before going down. So I think that's DZ's first death of the game, actually. Going to drop that Uber right there, but so many kills came out of it that they still have the point. Bugged is super aggro in the Shutter right now, trying to get an aggro pick. Will lose that SPS to Mountain. And with Casper having 70, it's likely going to be a free take. Townsy, Lay, both going down. DZ picks up a kill onto Lucky with the arrow. But
well, Galaxy gets a sniper. Witness behind from under, wreaking havoc down there. Oh my god, they have to get off the point because Witness just peppered everyone down, and there comes the stab onto Casper. Actually, Galaxy goes for the butter knife and then follows with the weapon. So, yeah, like you mentioned, Galaxy's low on the scoreboard, but every pick is demo, sniper, medic. Wow.
Staying world, we're all just living in it. He is finding Casper whenever he wants, it feels like. Lucky will come back with the revolver kill onto here. The point finally going over in favor of LIS, but it's been a minute since they got that mech drop, it feels like, and they're just now capping, and they went from having 70% ad to being down 70, thanks to, you know, Galaxy coming and getting that med pick, so they're about to lose the point right again.
The Uber coming so fast from DZ Creeper and Co. Joey actually bombing in, Lucky even getting cut out in the back lines, but they use the Uber fast, they get the ground, but wait a second, they lose Humphrey. Berto and Kiro, the scout is so powerful, just kind of juking these corners. Witness Townsy not picking from lower, they go down for it. So Berto doing God's work here on point, just kind of like that attack dog, right? Like on the leash here with the medic, but you obliterate everyone who peeks. Even bam, 3-shot hero, really well played, Berto.
Yeah, and then finally, you know, some form of defense right now, right? Casper having Uber, DZ only at 50, so they're in a good spot to milk them time here, even up the score. And then if they can pull out a defense, they will pull into the time lead. So really, despite a couple of captures, this is the first time LIS looks like they have a shot at really getting back into this round. And I mean, they just need to make sure they get this. Townsy coming in, great deny from Berto. He's not going to be able to get up there. And Mountain finding his gets onto Bug. They can play wide here. No need to fear. They're starting to walk up right there. DZ just coming up on Uber. But Galaxy not going to find a pick this time. He is taken out. Witness and Shutter just going to try to get some chip damage. And Mountain again onto Humphrey. Really making herself known in this game.
I really need to see Locked In Syndrome here playing to win. Like, Berto is like getting aggressive here, Lucky calling it out, Dot Wet Pasha on point. Let's get the rest of the team peeking a little bit, right? Like, Mountain is looking at nothing. They're waiting for the Shutter, you did the traps, whatever, but I don't know. This is, I think, too polite of a defense.
Great net to stall some seconds out of that Uber as it comes out of Shutter, but this Uber onto Dot Wet, he is so big right now, finds Galaxy in lower. That's going to be it, but he's on defense. He doesn't need any kills. He just needs to hold that spot. Keep everyone on red in that lobby. Dotwood's still forward right now. Dope gonna go down. Hero looking to chase him out. Townsy going over the top, gets some damage in, but cannot, you know, collect onto the kill. Some numbers finally gonna start falling on LIS, but way more on the side of Agar. Humphrey, Witness, Hero gonna round that one out. DC keeps his life, but that's the defense we need to see. LIS, as you said, now finally it feels like playing a win. Galaxy is hidden on point. D-Cloak gonna be caught out. No magic this time. Gets Berto, will take him down. That is a 6 streak onto Berto. Very quietly picking up those kills, I feel like.
75% on both medics, but 15 seconds on this clock. So they are basically not going to get Uber in time. You have to put time on the point before and during the Uber. Humphrey working forward. Townsy way forward. Then Townsy shoving Berto off the high ground and making Berto look the wrong way.
Dotwood found Hero and DZ in lower. You know, submarine heavy strikes. Gets all the kills they need. And LIS, after looking kind of out of it in that first round, you know, live up to their name. Come back, take round 2. We're all tied up at 1.
Making our way to mid number 3. For anyone just joining us here in Team Fortress 2, it's the first of 4 rounds wins this, but after one team gets to 2, we'll have a halftime.
Now right away onto Buck DC next! You cannot manufacture 2 better picks for your sniper than Sniper and the med onto a mid. Galaxy coming around is going to find a kill onto Jerry, and even with Mountain's pop-off, it's not enough to win them the mid. The rest of the players on Agar are able to sell out, get enough frags to stall this. You know, we're getting the Pug special, Asheville mid round 2 right now. Lucky fighting Hero on point. Will eventually lose that in Bug, getting revenge in the SBS. It's going to be Agar taking this.
They have basically even Ubers, so you have a free push if you are locking Syndrome. Right now they're getting contested actually from Shutter, and yeah, this is turning up the heat. Oh, Galaxy even getting the pick on the dot wet. Exa cleaned up on ramp. Ramp is clear. DZ Creep is running up the ramp. Right now, Witness even charging forward. You know, this team, like, it feels like they're all made for each other. Like Galaxy, Townsy, Witness, DZ Creeper, they're all charging forward. We're all Team Fortress 2 is our destiny.
Yeah, a bit of a stalemate right now. Galaxy gonna be caught out on bats. Maybe a little bit ambitious right there as Witness on these boxes trying to be that Rockets TV. Uber's gonna be popped out, but Hero's already dead. No scout to clean up down to the post. But Casper is not in the greatest position under bats. Berto now gonna re-engage. Witness caught out. Gonna go down. Humphrey sniped out as well. Bodies falling everywhere around this point, but Townsy coming in. Great air blast to defuse the threat, still lives but not find that med, and it should be point going over in favor of LIS. Dotwed catches Bug, going for a bit of an aggro shot, but not going to be enough to stop anything. Point's going to go back into LIS's favor after a minute 15.
Well, more credit to Dotwet, who I remember a quote from K9 who said something from League of Legends where, like, you do the same damage on full HP as you do on 1 HP. So Dotwet, on 75 HP as heavy, ran forward, walled off the point, said they have to go through me if they want to get to you. Everyone saw Dotwet and backed up. So,
no
yeah,
one
his
knows
posture
he's
is
75,
incredible.
yeah.
Exactly.
K9 in chat caught that. I want you to know that. As Townsy's trying to get some good spam in over ramp. Casper still sitting at 100%. Galaxy on ramp, not quite near a crack, but Townsy going in for real this time. Great reflex. Not a rocket will land. Galaxy does find Kira though. Birdo's gonna be next. And despite having Uber, most of the combo has been dropped. This defense may be looking doomed right now. They're gonna have to probably rotate up the bats, play off the mountain. Great shot onto Bug. Loki finds Humphrey. Some great equalizing. Uber popped out, but there's no one to use it on. Casper able to just turn 360 degrees, walk away, go back to spawn, hold on to that Uber. You give up the cap, but all you're doing is just making their spawns longer. Uber comes back in.
This Uber is, yeah, there's so much going across the point. They have to kind of dismantle this hold. Even going for the wrangled mini took half that Uber. They are cleaning up the pits, and wait a second, at the last moment, we had another one from Townsy. Thread the needle straight on the Casper. Really well played.
Yeah, able to pick up that med is really big right now. DZ gonna really be enjoying carrying that 50% ad. Casper just now coming up. I don't know if they have anyone to heal right out, but gonna take that telly. Get back to the front lines in no time. Humphrey dropping off the bats right now, but the repush is in session.
75% on DZ Creeper. Oh, and only 3-1 Birdo chipping him away, and the splash damage all the way from downtown, and the pistol actually from Birdo to finish off DZ Creeper. That huge ad is gone. That was sort of like all or nothing play. Like, if DZ Creeper wins that, they have a great spot for the rest of the round. Now, having this ad with less than a minute on the clock, you're sweating if you're Agar growth.
Yeah, exactly. That was your shot to really get back into this round, and they were not able to execute. Dotwet right in front of Shutter, and to look right past Humphrey, get forced back there. Just a half second, maybe losing focus or so. He trying to get in on to ramp, gonna call out Lay there before going deeper, but see only on 50 right now, and with Humphrey and Hero both going down, I don't know if there's too much doing. Townsy going in, no frags to be found. I think that rocket got reflected. He got shot out of the air regardless. So 20 seconds left. DZ and the rest of the team just spawning. No Uber for Agar unless you get to overtime. So it's looking good for LIS.
Forget planting your flag in the sand. Right now, Exa planting their flagging concrete with a level 1 going up to the level 3. Casper using onto Birdo. Dotwet across point. Townsy trying to salvage. And wait a second, Witness Lay, will they get in time? No, they will not get to the point. So, kind of with the reverse sweep in the first half here, we have a 2-1 in favor of Locking Syndrome.
Yeah, I mean, really, again, following the namesake, right? Looked kind of out of it after that first round, but really started turning it around. Mountain went from being pretty quiet in the server to finding a ton of frags whenever, the team needed her to. I think they also, helped shutting down scanning helps too. I mean, when you're, not giving up a sniper and a med to a spy that's already been caught and on fire, then you're generally going to do better than before.
Yeah, honestly, there's actually a huge one of my secret strats. I'm old now. I'll open the strat book for all you little youngins. One of my favorites is to let someone sensitive on the enemy team go off in round number 1 and then shut them down later. So for example, if we let Galaxy get a ton of picks and then you like start hounding, like chimping for Galaxy like crazy, suddenly Galaxy is going to start complaining a ton and say like, hey, you guys aren't giving me enough space and things like that. So I think that makes a big difference too, that like, Galaxy was their linchpin at the start, but then if you like clamp down when it really matters, then not only are you actually preventing the spy from doing anything, but now the spy is like working for you by cluttering the enemy team's comms. It's like a lose the battle to win the war, I would say.
You're so upbeat while talking about breaking another human psyche. I love it. But no, that's definitely an effect you can have, right? And I mean, do I think you want to gamble away around to try to get someone on tilt? No, but it's very much something that can happen, where if you're doing really hot one round, all you have to do is, if you can say like, hey, hit the switch up some focus a little bit, then unless you're going to take attack pause until you get to that halftime, it can be kind of tough to discuss why things are changing. What really stopped, right? What allowed Galaxy to get in and get all those kills? What was helping to keep Mountain down? Felt like Townsy as well was getting these huge bombs off in the first round and maybe the second half of round 2, but by the time the third round came in, every time he jumped, he was predictable. He got, shot out of the air. It was gorgeous, and there was a really nice ragdoll that would fly into a wall.
Looking at the stats here, you mentioned it. Mountain is the standout performer, going 24-8. So a 3-to-1 kill death ratio. Over a bug too. I think it was not bad and went positive, but having that many extra kills and that few deaths, especially like. Even for the enemy team, even if your sniper is if the enemy sniper is alive, you can't peek comfortably. It takes you twice as long to get to point versus running there in a straight line without a care in the world. I also want to shout out between Humphrey and Kira. They both got like not too far off in the damage. The thing is, Humphrey had double the kills and almost double the deaths.
So again, like he was in a completely different game almost. Like
you're right, exactly. So I love like having high deaths in a losing game. I think it's kind of good. Like I'd rather you try to win than not. But and also to get the kills while doing it, I think says a lot. But also great work out of Kira to just say like, listen, I'm going to put the Siggies in the right place and control the map rather than going for the damage, going for things. So I think again, both demos, like according to their stats, played very well, and what we saw on the server as well, except getting caught out in those couple times, like 1 or 2 of those clutch backstabs from the spies. Who both did very well. Additionally, Galaxy with those huge like value picks. I mean, let me take a look. 4 demo picks, 2 heavy, 2 medic, 2 sniper. The only other one was a soldier. So out of his 11 kills, 10 of them were very high value. That's the stat line you would dream of if you're a spy player.
Yeah, but I mean, it comes down to when you're getting those picks, right? And the context of the round around it. Getting a heavy kill when your team just got wiped doesn't really mean anything, but you got that same kill in a 9v9 and you're a hero, right? So it's always hard to kind of pin where that is, because it really did feel like in that, I'm actually looking, and despite getting, he had 3 kills in the first and third round, but in the first round it felt like those 3 kills, I think probably like a med and then a sniper in a 9v9, right? Versus I don't know exactly what the kills were in that third round, but they weren't as quality. Likewise, you kind of got to look at when it's happening as well, like, because I'd really be interested in seeing where Mountain's deaths were, like, round by round. Because, I mean, she only has 8 deaths total, but it felt like she was so quiet in that first round. Is this a case where 5 of those deaths are in the first round? So you take out the first round, right, that they lose, and she has 7 kills. Does that suddenly drop to 17-3, which is far more impressive? If only because of the fewer deaths means that as a sniper, you're constantly putting out that pressure. Logs aren't the end-all, be-all, kids, is really what I'm getting at. They can be useful, but, sometimes you got to take things with a grain of salt.
Why win the game when you can have good logs?
And the credo of basically every single hard-stuck main player without them realizing it.
they're going live. I have the whole spiel. I'm a set of pitched wood blocks
Glazed
out here
on
with my
right
Glock and
now then, on
spiel.
rollout.
Okay, he's so charming, so handsome. He, I think, is the most important player in the server right now, and the reason why Locked in Syndrome has turned that one around. Let's see if he still got it in this next one. Kira and Humphrey trading damage. And wait, Kira actually serves to safety. Nice arrow from Casper. She still got it, but wait, there it goes. And Jerry trading right back onto Dizzy Creeper. It's a freaking bloodbath on both combos, but Locked in Syndrome emerging from the ashes with more players alive.
Yeah, I mean, despite hitting those shots onto Casper, we almost saw the exact same thing happen last mid in reverse. Mountain comes in, hits 2 big shots right away, but then they just get overrun by the horde of players coming at them. Same thing happens now for Bug. Gets that med right away. I think got Humphrey, not Humphrey, no, they're on the same team. Got another player right away, but everyone on med dead on a mid fight only means you're down, what, 40 heals per second? 20? I should know that number, I'm a med main, but it's not a lot of damage, right? If you activate and, work to neutralize that. But Verdo unlucky. Now Jerry already down on the side of LAS. Big numbers in favor of Agar. But TC getting sniped out means that there's no Uber right now. Casper should be safely out in Shutter. Even if a cap comes across, things are still looking better for Casper with that app, but no cap either.
God, Townsy went and bombed in, and then almost skyboxed Exa, who didn't even know, was like, huh? And then turned back at Townsy, and then one shot with the revenge crits on the Frontier Justice just instantly killed Townsy in one single shotgun shot. That's hilarious.
Townsend vaporized live in HD. As Townsy coming in over ramp, gonna continue his unlucky streak of really not finding anything. Leaf only has a rocket to the face. And Bug, insane shot onto Kira while being ran down by an Ubered scout. And will even manage to live off of that. So great play out of Bug right there. Humphrey gonna get stabbed out though. Maybe take some of that momentum away. Lucky still in the back line. Maybe could have had a lineup onto Bug, but I think we'll just take out that telly entrance and be so vital to keeping players out of the fight. Townsy again. Not quite finding anything. No one's even on point right now, but enough time comes in. Galaxy caught out right away. Well done to Jerry, though. There's openings if they want it.
This is insane to me. So DZ on ad. Okay, the peak Uber in. Casper backing out Shutter. I just can't believe how, once the enemy demo goes down, even though you lose yours too, you have to play forward when you're at this set like that. Now, no one can pass it forever. Nice Kira, yeah. Quick double trap.
Or just one sticky coming across, but it is going to find 2 huge kills. The rest of them are all going to fall like dominoes. LAS still haven't given up this point.
So much damage. Full ad for Casper. The point has still not been given up, like you mentioned, so this is quite the uphill battle. Right now they're working their way out Shutter, even Hero going for this force. Sure they get it. They're dying for it very appropriately. Actually, you guys are pretty late, almost had time for a pick. Dizzy Creeper now on the high ground, and you have better spawn, so Townsy goes to open it up, but wait a second, where's the team? Maybe a bit preemptive. Galaxy getting Jerry on the ramp, okay. Birdo zoning them out basically with Exa too, so for Locked in Syndrome, it's just, keep playing up with Dot Wet, don't bait, but aggress, posture, keep the high ground, keep map control. There we go. We're spread forward now on the point, on the point. Exa with a wrangled mini. The Galaxy going in, not able to seal the deal. Townsy flying in, Dope flying in.
They actually get the path here, yeah. Getting that shot off the Exa right away means no mini, but that mini from Exa stays alive even with its creator dead. The collapse into Shutter comes through, DZ dying with 98. And on the backs of a perfect round, it will be match point already for, Dolphin, I think your HUD's a little bit off there. As, yeah, no, it's 3-1 now for Locked in Syndrome, already on match point in what felt like a, no time at all.
On mid number 5 here. Wait, both of them just kicked in the air. Wait, did they get wallbugged on each other? They stopped, I swear. Those bodies, so
what
they
if
both
we
go
kissed
down
above Asheville mid?
both just laughing. You're like, I've legit never seen that before. I've been here for a while. Well, that one's on air. Valve, please fix. I know you're listening. We're working our way across point here, 80%. Locked in Syndrome winning this mid, I think, is actually so tough for Agar Grove. Because like now you know it's even Ubers, we have to exchange, we have to like work our way back in. Losing mid in a time like this, I think, is very damaging for the mental.
Yep, Mountain going to open up right onto Bug, so you can see some really aggressive post positioning right here. Dope stabbed out as well, no Pyro to deny and chase. They have to book it out of Shutter right there, and see will escape. No, not even. Mountain finding the kill. I'm not sure where that was. Must have been on Bats, I think. Yeah, a little bit too aggro in the peak, so not even a 20% consolation prize to save for DZ right there, as we're about to head into a minute of time off of LIS's clock, and they're 2 minutes away from winning this match.
You know, we kind of need a miracle out of Agar Grove, which they are so capable of. Yes, now is the time to push. Do not wait for Uber. You have to go now. They're still not pushing. Finally, the door's open, but it's getting too late. Now they're going to start the cap by the time Casper's about to get Uber. They took too long. Unfortunate play. You needed to go earlier. Wow. They lose the demo now, but it's too late.
Yeah, Bugged onto Mountain would be the pick you wanted, but the combo just evaporates around. Easy creeper right there. Even with some kills back, it's not going to matter. They're better on the side of LIS, and they're able to pull out another 3 kills in that resulting 6v6. Just really immense thing up. Townsy coming in, doesn't even get the force. Casper been, have put his moon shoes on, putting their moon shoes on this this game. Flies around a bit, stays alive.
Man, you ever have someone actually was coming in? I'll save it for later. Humphrey, Hero, these are people working across. Kira, Casper, and Leaf catching it in turn. Just kind of a whole lot of nothing here. Jerry actually landing in a snipe, a massive snipe from downtown from Mountain on the Creeper. Jerry getting a pick on the Bug, so losing their sniper as well. They're just getting ripped apart here. Locked-in Syndrome sitting pretty, contesting the point, holding the point. Only Witness, the last one alive. So right now, Locked-in Syndrome gets to choose however they want to hold this for the last moments.
Yeah, the last life, really, of this, the last meaningful regular season game, that's Witness hitting a family business taunt in spawn. You hate to see it. Does it mean anything? Probably not. Does it contribute to anything? Definitely not. Humphrey trying to work something off of Bats and just eating so much damage from Dot, but he's going to back up. Should be getting arrowed. There it is. Bug using the SPS again. Witness now stabbed out. Galaxy will find 2 onto Mountain and Kira, so that is the opening they could want, but, the sniper's already dead. He got a third onto Dotlet even after some server lag. Ion Cannon's working for Skang too, but it may not be enough. The Uber comes out right here. WM1 is undefeated at any level of play. It's going to be Leaf keeping him off the point, but with only a fraction of cap time remaining, enough of the spawns may be coming back in that we may see a cap from Agar Grove right here. They have life.
Bug getting that late snipe on Hero. Okay, finally gets Leaf. Mountain actually from very far away has a little bit of a line into DZ. Doesn't seal the deal. Okay, DZ having this full ad is like their only hope in the round. Okay, there's kind of 2 philosophies. Like, you want to turtle up and hold you as long as you can, but to me it's like, yeah, they start working forward a little bit. You kind of don't want them to peek these doors and have a chance if you can avoid it. But right now, DZ is saying, like, oh, come on, we don't give them too much room, so working forward with Witness. And goes down the ramp! That's Mountain going for that long angle, and that's what happens if you don't have your soldier hard watching the ramp. Finally, Townsy gets Mountain, but that's, if only that play came a little bit earlier.
Got glow stick on the other side, but it's not going to matter. LIS come back in. Mountain pulled a Dom onto DZ the last time she got a kill, so that might be 5 snipes in 2 rounds, which, I mean, LIS may have really just given away that first round as a gambit to just crush the mental. You may have been right on with that, because after they lost 1 round, the performance dropped. After they lost the second, the team vanished. I'm not going to make a lock-in joke right here, I promise.
That definitely separates, like, the mid-invite and lower teams versus the higher invite teams. Is like, how well can you lose? So when we look at Agar, like, winning the first round, losing rounds 2 and 3, what does our adjustment look like, right? Is it like, we need to change up our play? We need to, someone's struggling. What if we can enable someone on our side? What if we shut down someone on their side? Knowing some of these players, sometimes it comes down a lot more to arguing of, like, why they're right or why they wanted to do something that would have worked and no one listened and things like that. So I think having that kind of dynamic is where like when you lose hard. And I think that's what we saw here, because Agar is a much better team than like what they showed us, I guess, in the second half. But hey, Locked in Syndrome also went above and beyond. Like a top
Holy
frag in the server is a
sniper
soldier
diff,
on
Batman.
Jerry too.
Or soldier diff, excuse me. That is shocking. Not just that there's a gap that big on the soldier class. I mean, you don't see galaxies opened up between classes very often, and it's usually not on soldier. But Jerry was in there. I mean, it's almost making me think that Townsy's bombs, not to throw shade at him, looked so good in the first round, like out of luck, because he completely vanished after that first round. Felt like every bomb he was doing in that first round was on point and was finding huge kills. Everything after that felt like he was going it alone. I don't know what the impetus was. Maybe, after dropping around, Galaxy wasn't coordinating as much. Maybe it was lucky timing. I don't know. But there was such a noticeable drop there. And I mean, I think part of Jerry's stat line there is, can be attributed to the fact that everyone has pretty egregious stat lines when you really look at it. But seeing Townsy having started so strong only to really kind of taper off there doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. But, these two teams will very likely have the time to, fight it out again in 2 weeks from now, when we see LIS likely going to be your second seed. Agar Grove will be third, which should mean they're going to play each other, if not in the first round of playoffs, then, pretty soon thereafter, assuming, again, it shouldn't even matter, right? Because with only 5 teams, unless there's a mix-up in the structure, it would be M&K, assuming their 4th seed, playing Pastas week 1. Then the winner of that plays Team Fun, and LIS and Agar Grove are basically locked. So, not the last these two teams will see of each other.
I do think you're right. I also want to shout out just Kira here, who had as few deaths as the medic in this second half combined. Only 3 deaths, also with Casper's 3 deaths. Not as few deaths as their blessed engineer Exa, who had only 2.
Nice
but
stinky baiting head admin.
Yeah, but it is one of those things where it's like, listen, you're doing really well. A couple extra deaths give the enemy an opening, right? So for Kira to just say like, I'm going to, number 1, top damage the server, and number 2, stay alive while doing it, that's like, you could not ask for anything better as a team to show us this dominance here. I'll also take a second. So jokes aside, like for the first half, I would really urge anyone like looking into TF2, or like, especially if you're a heavy player, watch this .wet demo. In each of these times when the team wanted to like, fight this uphill battle, or it's like, the 5-step plan to recapturing the point, .wet is kind of doing steps 1 through 4 himself, and using his health, using his like close range damage and things like that to constantly keep the fire turned on, I guess, against the enemy team, where it's like all you have to do is just follow .wet, and he like kind of paves your way to the point. He's taking all the damage for you, making the enemies look a certain way, making them all reload, and then he'll like back up and they start chasing him instead of you. That's like, you couldn't hope for anything more, I think, out of a heavy player. So like, as much as I joke, I think he played really well, especially in the first half, and like why they were able to turn this one back around. I've been like super impressed with .wet this season, and this match I think shows again, like he got their ball rolling. Of course, there's not much to be done in the second half because they all got it all working together. So yeah, it's really well played out of .wet, and I love what I saw out of their team as a whole.
Yeah, and I like the point you made, right, about how you do the same amount of damage at full HP that you do at 1, right? Like, well, part of the thing about a heavy is that if you're hurt, but you weren't just hurt, they don't know that you're 75 HP, I mean. So, you can almost kind of posture like you're full, even if 1 rocket might kill you. If they don't know that, they may not take that fight. But beyond that, something that, I basically retreated back into playing nothing higher than main at this point. And something I feel like a lot of lower div players haven't really put together is that like, if your main caller calls you in, you go in. If you see a window to fight, you fight. If you're 90 HP on Pyro, don't run back and get a pack, right? Or if you're 60 HP on Engineer, it's not like, you walking forward and maybe you get body shot and you feel kind of bad, but like, if you're running back to get a pack and baiting, you might as well be dead anyway. Aggression is so important, and furthermore, aggressing on, fights can change on kind of what's the expression? The turn of a dime?
Yeah,
Brain farting.
they
Can change
turn
quickly.
on a dime, or yeah.
Right, and maybe your main caller sees an opening that's only there for like a second, and if they yell, get forward, you have to get forward. Dotwit likely being more forward than his team in a lot of situations, that specific instance might not apply. But the point, right, is that because he's so far forward, he's generating these opportunities. And yeah, in the first round, when it wasn't working, he may have been dying more than he would have if he played back and just, waited for spies to come into him and he sat on a decent KD while his team bled out rounds. But that's not how you win the game. That's playing for logs, not to win, which we made a joke about at some point in there.
A while ago, I had like a Jimmy Neutron brain blast pushing upward last, and I was like, Daffodil, rocket jump straight into the enemy sentry gun and die. And then he said, no, if I do that, I'll just die. And in the time it took Daffodil to say no, I was like, you've doomed us. That was our single win condition. I thread the needle. I calculated it all to the umpteenth degree. That was the win. And you've doomed us. Our fate is now in your hands, and we descend into hell together. Good job, buddy. No, just kidding. I love Daffodil, but yeah, like you mentioned, just like you got to trust the main caller at the end of the day, and that's what happens if you don't. Finally, we can lose upward last if you twist my arm. Why don't you?
What's the angle here, right? I'll die. Like, if we don't get this, you're gonna be stuck pushing upward last for 6 minutes. You're gonna die a hell of a lot more there, and who are you trying to please? You know what I mean? I can tell all of you lower div players that even if there is an invisible council out there who's silently judging you for every log that you play, they're not going to determine whether or not a good team recognizes your value to make space and be aggressive. Like, if Daffodil goes in there and dies when Rogue calls him to, and maybe he dies and nothing happens, right? Are people looking at this log and saying, oh, I thought Daffodil was a really good player, but he has 31 deaths instead of 30 when they got hard held on upward last, so, I'm writing him off. It's silly.
Yeah, much love to Daffodil, but yeah, that's how it goes out here. Well, listen, we here at RGL, we have a litany of complaints about our teammates and
our friends.
Merchandise. There's a great array here of the fall collection here at merch.rgl.gg. You could do exclamation merch in the chat. There's a whole bunch of basically like timed release stuff here for the season. If you don't get it, then it's gone. You'll also see at the landing page, the homepage of the merch.rgl.gg is basically a subscription here for the league. Everything we do here is run and operated and everything by all the players, all the volunteers, everyone who helps to make this possible. So by subscribing to the league, you help with prize pools, you help with operational costs, you get a whole bunch of perks in terms of like different access to things, a whole bunch of thanks all across all of our publications here at RGL. There's a ton of fun stuff, so give that a good look if you're so inclined.
I mean, all the good work that the staff does really does deserve to be rewarded. It's not got the prices on screen right now. I won't read any of that just because there's so much text, but there's a lot of benefits there if you want to look into it. Plus, going back to the merch, there are reruns of the snake, the spy crab, the frog. I think there's one more that I'm forgetting, but really good stuff. A lot of people are looking for them back, and they're here. Should be here until the end of the current run, so get them while you can. But I think that really is gonna just about do it for us. Rogue, any closing remarks from you?
I just found out you can gift purchases to Twitch chat. So listen, anyone want to show up next week, what's coming. I got a couple ideas here. But no, shout out to Dolphin. Thank you for putting on a wonderful show. Shout out both these teams. Like, I know for Agar, it's tough to face a loss like this, and probably there's a lot of arguing, but like, listen, it happens. Playoffs are bigger than this, and for Locked In Syndrome, I'm really excited to see, I guess, what you do with your success that you found here, especially like, rounds 3, 4, 5. You really turn up the heat there, so well played out of both these teams. Thanks, Ollie, for producing.
All right, and with that, I think we'll call it there. Match undetermined for next week. It will be Steel Week. Can't promise we're going to do an invite cast, but Should be something fun regardless. So stay tuned. You know, like usual, come back in a week minus an hour for some more great Highlander action. But for now, I think we're going to call it. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.